Well guys, this was pretty short-lived. The Infinity Blade has already been vaulted just 3 days after being added to the game, and man, I can't say I'm surprised, but I can definitely say that I'm happy about this decision from Epic Games. So they just tweeted this morning, they said, "Hey folks, we messed up and rolled out the Infinity Blade overpowered without good counters, especially in the endgame. The Infinity Blade has been vaulted and we are reevaluating our approach to mythic items. Thanks for calling us out on this." So we're gonna drop in down to Polar Peak here and we're gonna see the remains of what isn't there anymore. Oh my goodness. It's kind of sad because like the blade was fun to use if you were the one with it, but outside of that, it was so totally unfair and unbalanced. And like they mentioned in that tweet, there was absolutely nothing to counter it. So as you guys can see, as of just a couple minutes ago in game, it's no longer here. You can no longer pull the sword from the stone. It is gone forever. I'm actually kind of curious what they're gonna do with this area to replace it. So yeah, it's out of the game, at least for now. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up coming back, but you know, obviously Epic is gonna have to reevaluate how they're going to bring it back. I mean, I think if you brought it back as an LTM, that would be perfectly fine. I mean, we saw the Thanos LTM. Nobody had a problem with that because that's what that LTM was all about. You went into the LTM knowing that you were gonna be fighting this almighty, mega powerful character and trying to earn his powers for yourself. The problem is that this sword was in the normal battle royale. So when you were just trying to run around and play a normal BR match or trying to play the competitive winner royale tournament that went down this week, I mean, it was straight up OP. There was no solid counter to it. I mean, if you guys saw the winner skirmish tournament that they had going on just a couple of days ago, like I think it was a day after it was added into the game, I mean, this is a pro player clip. You know what I mean? Like, these are all pro players here, but one of them happened to have the blade and it's just spammy. Like literally anybody could run around and press the fire button to just swing this thing and get a bunch of kills. So it just like it completely unbalanced the game. There was no true, like, I mean, there was a little bit of skill to it, but not to the extent of, you know, skill, you know, building and using equipment and regular weapons and stuff like that. So it just, I mean, again, it would have fit in an LTM, but it definitely didn't belong in something like the normal battle royale because it was so unfair. Now, one thing I am a little bit worried about is yesterday, Epic's first response to the complaints about this blade, originally they had the idea to nerf it. So they're gonna make it so that you couldn't harvest materials or build while using it, which would have helped, but I think it still would have been OP. But they had another kind of like little segment in their announcement talking about mythic items. So this sword was a mythic item, and it sounds like it's not the only one that's gonna be coming to the game. So they said, the presence of mythic items in gameplay is to provide an interaction a step above the legendary item functionality and something you'll continue to see. To us, that means changing the way the game is played for those who interact with that item. The addition of items in this tier provide new and flavorful ways to interact with the map and generally shake up normal play across default modes. We'll have some more info with regards to our competitive philosophy when it comes to new items, updates, and seasons within Fortnite early next week. So they're saying these mythic items are going to be like super OP items that give you like different abilities and really mix things up, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the thing is they're talking about bringing that to the normal core modes. And I think that's kind of where the disconnect is. I don't think people want that. I like, obviously it's fun in the short term. It's fun when you're using it, but when you're going up against something like that, that's where it gets really, really frustrating for the average player. Even the airplanes right now, I mean, they're definitely not on the same level as like a Thanos gauntlet or a legendary mythic sword or whatever else. It's still kind of like that addition of randomness, like the idea that somebody can hop in an airplane, fly around up in the skies for the entire match, and then like land at the end game, and you know, their plane gets shot down. Originally, they didn't even take damage from that. Now they take 50 HP of damage, which still isn't even all that much. Like some of this stuff is a little bit unbalanced, and I feel for Epic because like they want to continue adding new things into the game, keeping it fresh, doing different things, keeping people interested, because if it's just the same game over and over, it's going to get boring and people are going to stop playing. So they've got to invent the wheel again. They've got to reinvent the wheel, but at what cost? You know what I mean? Like there's a balance to be had. And again, I think that if we're going to add in mythical weapons, let's just put them in LTMs. I think if they came out with a Sword in the Stone LTM, everybody would have loved that. Everybody would have everybody would have been all about that. It would have been awesome. People would have been hyped. But the idea that they're trying to throw it in a normal mode, I feel like that's not really where it belongs. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you guys are excited to not get slashed by a sword in the end game anymore. And I'm going to see you guys later. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.